So you've got your first deal, your first contract, or maybe more, but you're wondering, what ways do you have to sell that property? Or what is the next steps or the top ways real estate investors across the United States are dispositioning their properties? So we're going to talk about it. Real relationships aren't built fake facade. Trust, integrity, fun are core values that we hold on to. The first and most used way of selling that property and largest exit strategy used is wholesaling. That is what you have right now. Your contract on the property, the deal that you have seeked out and found and put under contract. You now have the capability to sell that contract or assign that contract as a wholesale to another investor or a third-party buyer. That is your responsibility to find the deal. You are not spending money in the deal. You are not renovating the property. You are literally selling the contract to another investor or a third-party buyer for a profit. So if you buy it for $20,000, you can sell it for $25,000 or $30,000 or $21,000. And you get the difference between what your contract stated to what you are selling it to that next investor for. That is your number one strategy in real estate investing on exit strategies. The number two strategy that a lot of real estate investors use across the country is a fix and flip. A fix and flip is the purchase of the property that you have under contract. You need to pay closing costs. Then you need to find contractors to renovate the home. You need to build a budget so that it fits inside that budget. And you have to do all of the work before you put this house on the market to be resold to a retail buyer. A retail buyer in this instance would be someone that is getting a loan or has cash that wants to live inside the property. And what you have bought the house for, closing costs, used to renovate the home, and then resold the home. So you have your initial costs of, say you bought it for $50,000. You spent $50,000 in it, and it cost you $20,000 to buy and sell the property. You are now in that property for $120,000. If you sell that property to a retail buyer for $150,000, you now have a profit of $30,000. That would be the goal on a fix and flip exit strategy. Number three, the third exit strategy that a lot of investors use is the buy and hold strategy. And this has a lot of different ways to be done, but the basis of this exit strategy is that you purchase the property for cash, then you refinance the property after it is updated and you have a renter in there to get your money out of the property, but the rent then covers your mortgage on the property. Then you can use that same cash and you can go and do it again. This would be called the BRRRR strategy, but this is used as a buy and hold exit strategy. You are buying these to build long-term wealth. Wholesale, quick cash. Fix and flip, cash flow. Buy and hold, you are building a property that you're taking rent in to cover what you are paying on a monthly basis so that you have some excess cash, but build long-term equity in the property and have someone else paying off your mortgage. That is the third exit strategy to real estate investment. Considered creative financing. This is when the seller finances your properties. You purchase the property under a contract with the seller that he either leaves his money in the property and you pay him monthly due to using this as a rental property and you're going to pay him a monthly bill, or you buy the property subject to the mortgage that is sitting there that the seller owes on the property. You agree to take over his mortgage payments and you have an obligation to that seller to pay his mortgage payments on a monthly basis. This could be for however long it is needed. But what this gives the seller is the ability to not have to worry about the payments anymore. They are not liable for those payments. And for you, you don't have as much invested. You just took over the payments, so you didn't need as much cash to buy that property. And now you can actually sell it to somebody else for a lump sum down payment, and then with a rent to own mentality, where they are taking over, they're paying you a payment that is larger than what you owe the seller, and it goes down the line in that way. So the renter pays you, you pay the seller. You keep anything that's in between that, over and above what you owe the seller, and you get usually a down payment from the individual that is purchasing the property that goes directly into your pocket. And the last is rent to own. This is a property that you have, that you've purchased, that you are looking to sell, and you want to sell it on a rent to own lease option for your buyer. And that buyer would purchase that with a down payment. That locks in the price that you've agreed upon. And over however many years, he is purchasing this property. He's renting now so he can own it later. So he's paying rent payments, but they're really mortgage payments. You are financing the deal for that renter so that he can eventually own that property. And that is the fifth exit strategy for real estate investment. I hope this video has helped you. I hope that as you look into the different exit strategies, you ask questions, you figure out which one's best for you, you start where you need to start, and hopefully you'll add all of these exit strategies to your tool belt so you can be a more productive real estate investor. Guys, have a great day. This is Eric Latchall with Honest Home Solutions. If you find any of our content helpful, please hit subscribe on our YouTube page. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, all the social media outlets, Instagram. We want to give you as much content as possible, and we want you to learn from us and ask the questions. We want to give you as much information as possible. Just hit the button, subscribe, and we'll be thankful for every follower.